For years and years, I keep getting asked on this channel one question over and over again. Today, I'm going to answer it for you. Mr. X, who's your favorite NFL pro team? It's the Bears. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey everybody, welcome to a different type of video. Now there's probably 4 groups of people watching. Number 1, people who enjoy football, you'll like this. Number 2, people who enjoy extreme experiences, you'll like this. Number 3, people who are here for high-end collectibles. You won't like this, but just do me a favor and keep it going for the algorithm. Maybe put me on mute, I know some of you do anyway. And number 4, people who stumbled across and are like, what the hell is going on? So, this is the Extreme Channel. We're all about an extreme lifestyle. That includes a lot of things. High-end collectibles, you can see that behind me. Also, extreme experiences. I love to go to sports games. I have season tickets to the Denver Broncos, to the Denver Nuggets, and I like to travel all over the U.S., not only for sports, but other things. And today, I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. So the week this video is launching is the week that we are finally to the 2023/24 AFC and NFC championships. I've been a Bronco fan for about 15 years or so. And if you remember, at the beginning of this year, I made a giant purchase I talk about in this video here. We're going to revisit that a little bit. Before I get into that story, I want to give my 2 cents about the Denver Broncos and where they're at the end of the 2023 season. Now, if you're still watching and you're unfamiliar, the Denver Broncos made one of the most expensive purchases of any quarterback of all time. They did that in this quarterback, Russ Wilson, number 3, came in and he bombed the first year. So they said, you know what? He needs better leadership. Let's bring in a Super Bowl winning coach, Sean Payton. They bombed even worse. They started out winning 1 game and losing 5. Well, then they won 5 out of the next 6 in a row, and all of a sudden they were these playoff contenders. But then they bombed at the end of the season. Not only did they bomb, but all this nastiness and drama came out. The Broncos and Sean Payton, the coach, were telling the quarterback, you need to restructure your ridiculous contract, otherwise we're not going to let you play anymore. You got to sit on the bench. And they ultimately benched him. So I want to give my 2 cents about that because a lot of people have asked me before I dive into the meat of the video. Meat? That's kind of weird. I think Russ Wilson got done dirty. I think Sean Payton is heartless. However, saying that, Russ Wilson, if he gets cut, which we're going to find out probably early March, made $150 million for performing at a subpar performance. He was expected to be 9 out of 10, and he was at best a 4 out of 10. So even though he got done dirty, I think he'll be okay. Sean Payton shouldn't have done it this way. However, Sean Payton's job is to win. He's held accountable to win. If he thinks this is the best way, then you got to trust him, because if not, it's his ass on the line. To be honest with you, after 1 year, his ass is already on the line. So here's my prediction, though. I don't think they're going to cut Russell Wilson. I think he is going to agree to restructure his content because there's no other good replacements. You know, Broncos this year are 12th in the draft pick, and about 5 teams ahead of them need quarterbacks, and there's not even that many good college quarterbacks this year. Their other options take like a B-rated quarterback, like maybe if Justin Fields from the Bears became available. I just like saying, the Bears. For the record, huge Bears fan in the 80s and 90s. Sweetness. Some of you got that. And let's be honest, Broncos' issue is not only just the quarterback. There's a lot of other ones going on. All right, now let's get into the regrets. So I was on the Broncos season ticket waiting list. I had been ever since Peyton Manning was playing there. And I got a call from the account manager. You always have an account manager when you're either on a season ticket waiting list or you have season tickets. And he said, hey, your tickets haven't converted because they take 10 to 20 years. However, we're doing this brand new thing. We're opening up a club. It's an all-inclusive club, high-end, and with that, you also get good seats in the lower bowl. Are you interested? I go, I'm in no matter what. And I'm thinking in my head, these are going to be really expensive. These are going to be at least $500 a ticket per game at a minimum. Well, I was way off. It was $1,100 per ticket per game. And you have to sign a multi-year contract. So everyone that was interested signed up. And then when it went open for pre-order, that entire day through Ticketmaster, different seats were appearing because certain people were holding them, certain people weren't. And we have no idea where these seats came from. Well, I kept refreshing all day long. I don't think I did any work that day. And eventually, 3 seats on the 50-yard line, second row, became available. And I said, I am doing this. Put it in my cart, checked out $33,000. And then I went out back to my wife and told her the bad/good news. Just as a quick recap, here's some stuff about the seats and then also the all-inclusive club, which is what really puts it over the top. On a side note, throughout the year, obviously with only 3 seats, took different members of my family, took different colleagues, took different friends. One of my friends, I just ran into him yesterday. He finally got in for this year, and he's going in for 2 tickets, at $1,100 per seat per game. And you have to buy the entire season, by the way. But here's a quick recap of some of the benefits this extreme purchase got me. On the inside, they have tables, they have booths, they have lounge chairs, they have standing tables, they have a huge bar, as you can see over there, with a liquor locker. We have one with Mr. X on it. And then food. So you have 2 options for food, or really 3. One is kind of a hot area. This is like they do prime rib, seafood, different types of high-end pasta. They also include not only including the bar, but you'll see like an espresso machine. They do a hot chocolate bar, make your own margarita. There's another bar as well that does like smoked old fashions. Then they have like football finger food, nachos and brats and chicken tenders and wings. And that doesn't switch. That's the same every single week. And if you don't drink alcohol, they have plenty of non-alcoholic drinks right here, as you can see. And they switch this up from time to time with a few staples. But this is their candy wall. This is free. Well, you paid for it in the price, but you just take it. You do not know how much we come home with each night for the kids that didn't get a go. And they switch this up as well. They take suggestions. But it's just a beautiful layout inside the club. You see some of the TVs in the back. There's probably about 20 or 30 TVs where you can actually watch other games, hang out with other people, because as a reminder, and we're going to talk about this again, they are open before the game and after the game. And they usually decorate too. They try and make it fun, do a lot of fun things. So this was a 360-degree rotating camera with me, my wife, and my son right here, just having a lot of fun. And they also have people come through. They have alumni come through. The mascot always comes through. Cheerleaders come through. So I think that's really cool. I got to hold a few Super Bowl 50 rings, which was neat. And as I said, they kind of theme it up. This was me on New Year's Eve game, 2024. So this is all inside of the club. But if you wanted to, you could actually go outside and go to your seats. These are our seats. Unbelievable seats. So fun. Can't be beat. So just amazing, amazing what this club has to offer. And I didn't even cover everything. Now that the season's over and the Broncos actually ended with a losing record, despite the fact it was better than the last few years, many people have been asking, but really I've just been asking myself, did Mr. X make a mistake? Did you do, ultimately, probably a $100,000 investment for a losing team? And I'll bet you the Waltons, which, if you're unfamiliar, those are the people who own Walmart, they bought the Broncos for $4.6 billion recently. They're probably asking themselves the same question. Did I invest in a losing team and make a huge mistake? So I made a list of pros and cons, and really the only con, I'm not going to go over it, is the money. The money is a huge headache, because with that all-inclusive club, we have not only the club, but the seats, there's early access. We have VIP parking too. We're like 50 yards from the entrance. So here are 5 reasons, which maybe in my weird mind I'm trying to justify the spend of that much money, but 5 reasons I don't think I made a mistake, even if the Broncos lose. So the first one, if the Broncos were blown out every single game, it would be horrible, or if they were boring games. So the previous season, I went to, I think, about 5 games, and most of those were so boring. The final score was like 3-6 or 6-9. And the Broncos lost the majority of the games. That sucked. However, the great thing about this season, well, they ended up only winning 8 and losing 9. About 5 of the 9 they lost within the last minute. So it was a really close, exciting game. So I think the fact that the Broncos are moving in the right direction, and a lot of people that we were talking to at the club, 300 people made this decision. We're all saying, was it worth it? I said, you know what? The games are a lot more entertaining. The 10 home games we went to, we were cheering so loud at about 8 of them because they either won or they were really close to winning in the last minute. So I think that's one reason it's really worth it. The next 2 reasons have to do with the club. The first one is we get in 3 or 4 hours before the game starts. Now, typically, there's other football games going on, and this club has all of them covered. You can watch every single one at the same time from the same seat. And along with that, they do things like where you actually bet on the games against other people in the room for big prizes. So I think that's really cool. It actually occupies the time there. You get there early. Instead of waiting outside and tailgating and not even able to see what's going on some other games, you're inside essentially tailgating, which we're going to talk about in a second, but you get to watch all the different games. So it's almost an entire event, and you can do this after the game as well. The club stays open. So I think that is definitely worth it. It makes the entire event a football event, not just a Broncos event. The third part, and these are in no particular order, this is probably my favorite part, is the high-end food and the high-end drinks are off the chart. Not only do they switch up the menu, but they do theme stuff, and I should also add the service is second to none. I mean, this is truly magnificent. Mrs. X and I, my wife and I, we were talking about what could they do to make it worth our money. And you know, they actually take suggestions. Like during the cold games, we're like, you should offer hand warmers to people. Hey, during the sunny games, you should have sunscreen. And they start putting that stuff in the club. They have cell phone chargers everywhere. I mean, it truly is a one-all fit-all. Other than clothes to stay warm when you go outside and watch the game, if you wanted to, you could stay in the club and watch the game, and there's still a really cool atmosphere in there. You really don't need to bring much. They supply you with everything. And I love the fact they change up the menu for both the drinks and the food, and they have some staple stuff too. Next thing, we love the outdoor stadium. So we've been to domes, we love outdoor stadiums even more. I was having a conversation with an executive at another company a few days before I filmed this, and complete opposite. I said there's something about being outdoors with the fireworks and even the weather when it's -5 degrees. And when they do that national anthem and then there's a flyover of F-15s or Blackhawks, it is just so energizing, so amazing. So I think the atmosphere, if you will, just really, really adds to it. Now the last thing, and again, this is in no particular order, but it's where our seats are. You know, so many people were like, you're too close. And then people that have came and sat in our seats, they're like, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, we can literally throw shit at Bill Belichick when he gets hired for the Falcons. I was doing that when he was there with the Patriots. I mean, he's literally like 20 feet away because we are on the opponent's side, perfectly in the middle. We can see everything. It looks like these players are right next to you. And then you add in the atmosphere we were just talking about, the screaming and the yelling and just the big energy. It is so worth it. It is some of the best times. I look forward to every Sunday, whether we win or lose. I'm looking forward to it next year. And in a few weeks, we have the Super Bowl, the last game of the year, and I think it's been an amazing playoff so far this year. My hope is Bills versus Lions. That's my hope. And if you're like, wait, Mr. X, both those teams are already out when this launched. Yeah, I'm filming this that Sunday before the games, so that's who I'm going for today. But that way we'll have a new Super Bowl winner this year, so I would really like that. Because if you don't know, if you don't follow football, neither team has ever won the Super Bowl. Lions have never been to the Super Bowl, so I'm hoping Bills, Lions are the ultimate Super Bowl. But again, thanks for sticking with me. A little bit different video, but I just love to talk about the extreme experiences. This is my channel. I love to talk what I'm passionate about. What are you passionate about that's not collectible or sport related? Throw that down in the comments below. If you can't think of that, throw down your favorite NFL team, and maybe we can share some pain. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, thank you again if you stayed in. I really appreciate it. This was a fun video to make. Hopefully it was a fun video to watch. Make sure to stay tuned. Tons of collectible and other extreme content coming up. Take care.